Guys, welcome to another installment of the Stars and Strikes series collaboration thing. If you didn't watch the intro video, what this is basically a bunch of us talking about our favorite and least favorite products in our collection by category. Last time was foundations and concealers. I will link that video down below, as well as everybody else in this collab. Today we are going to be talking about highlighters and bronzers. I have 3 awesome highlighters, 3 awesome bronzers. I don't really have a whole lot of flops for this video. I think I have like 1 highlighter flop, but I don't really have any horrible bronzers or anything like that. So let's get started. Well, no, I do have a horrible bronzer. I mean, I don't have any of the bad stuff with me because I don't really keep that kind of stuff in my collection, but anyway, let's get started. So I'm going to start off with my bronzers. 2 of them are drugstore and 1 of them is high-end. First of all, I'm going to start off with one that everybody owns and everybody loves, Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. I was kind of late on this train, but I really do love this bronzer. It's a more natural bronzer. I think if I get really tan this summer, I'm not going to be able to use this. And this is actually the darkest shade. I think they have like a light bronzer shade, and this is bronzer. But it's just like a really nice, natural looking, sun-kissed kind of bronzer. You can even contour with this because this is not too warm toned or too cool toned. It's pretty neutral. Second bronzer is a Wet n Wild bronzer in the shade Bikini Contest. It's a little bit darker than the butter bronzer, which is why I love it so much, because it gives me a really tan looking complexion. It's what I'm using today and I love it. I think this is like $3 or $4 at the drugstore, so it's even less expensive than Physicians Formula, because Physicians Formula is what I like to call high-end drugstore, because like none of their stuff is below $10. Whereas Wet n Wild, even though their prices are kind of creeping up a little bit, they are still super affordable. Third bronzer that I have to show you guys is actually a deluxe size bronzer, but I do plan on picking up the full size. I got this as a 100 point perk. It's the Too Faced Chocolate Soleil bronzer. I actually use this to contour, although you can use this for both bronzer and contour. I do have a video on this look that I am wearing today. I don't know if it's going to be up before this or after this, but I did use this to contour in the video. I love it. I think you could use it as a contour and a bronzer at the same time. It's a really nice multitasking product. You can also use it as an eyeshadow. And I have the 100 point perk, and this is a really decent sized deluxe sample, so it's gonna be a while before I'll need to run out and buy the full size, but I definitely will. For my bronzer fails, I only have 1 kind of fail bronzer, and this bronzer was really hyped up on YouTube a couple of years ago, and it is, or I guess I should say it was, a drugstore bronzer. The NYC Sunny bronzer. You can't get it anymore. NYC has been discontinued in the United States. I think you can still get it in Canada, but that bronzer just made me look orange, like oompa loompa doompa-dee. Yeah, like that kind of orange, and everybody was using it. I think that bronzer looked good on more tan complexions. Now for highlighters, this is my favorite category. I've got my top 3 highlighters sitting in front of me. We have 2 high-end options, 1 drugstore. I'm going to start off with my really all-time favorite highlighter. Mine is busted because I had to repress it. It is the Becca Champagne Pop highlighter. These are so beautiful and so intense. The only thing is, these are very sensitive, delicate powders. Mine cracked from honestly just sitting in my drawer. If I'm like, yeah, they're that sensitive, but I haven't used this specific pan in a while because I do have Champagne Pop in the face palette, so I'm kind of working on using up that one before I touch this one again. But this is so stunning. If I have any special occasion, like if I'm gonna go to somebody's party or I'm getting my picture taken, like when I just did my school graduation photos, this was the highlighter that I wore if I have to go to any event, this is the highlighter I'm going to wear because this looks so stunning in pictures. I found that some highlighters look just kind of glittery in pictures, even though they're not glittery like in normal everyday life, and I don't really like that. But this looks like just such a soft, beautiful glow, and I love it. I'm gonna swatch this just because it is so stunning. Like, ugh. You've all seen Champagne Pop by now. The one thing that I will say is that you do have to, or at least I have to, put down like a cream or liquid highlighter underneath this. It does have decent staying power. However, I find that it will not last me all day long unless I have something underneath it. This next highlighter is Oh Darling from MAC. It's my newest highlighter in my collection, and I have been nothing but obsessed with it. This came out about, I think it was like holiday 2015 this was released, and everybody was going bonkers over it. It was everywhere. If you know MAC, usually their limited edition products are like super limited and they stay limited, unlike a lot of these other brands. This was the highlighter of the season. I was really upset that I didn't get my hands on it, but I think like somewhere towards the end of 2016 or early 2017, MAC made the Extra Dimension Skin Finish line permanent. So their Extra Dimension Skin Finishes are basically their highlighters, and they're not new to MAC at all. Like, as I said, this is an Extra Dimension Skin Finish, came out in 2015. But every Extra Dimension Skin Finish product they released was limited edition until they decided to make it permanent. So now, MAC Oh Darling is a permanent highlighter in the MAC collection, and that was such a smart move on them. It's just like a straight up gold highlighter. It's the second one right here underneath Champagne Pop. As you can see, Champagne Pop is more like a rosy champagne color, and Oh Darling is just pure gold. The last highlighter is a more affordable highlighter. It is Precious Petals from Wet n Wild. And this is such a beautiful, creamy powder highlighter at such an affordable price. I think this highlighter is, what, $5? Yeah, I paid $5.19 for it at Rite Aid. So stunning. They also have another color in this line called Crown of My Canopy, but that shade is a little bit too dark for me. So there is Precious Petals underneath Oh Darling, and I would say it looks a little bit more like Champagne Pop, but not really. It's got a little bit more peachy pink to it, and for the price, you can't really beat it. It is amazing quality. I would pay Becca prices, which the Becca highlighters are like $38. I would pay near $40 for this product, and it's only $5. Like, that's how amazing it is. The one flop highlighter, I guess, Becca Moonstone, I did use up an entire deluxe sample of that highlighter, but I don't know, I just didn't like the way that it looked on me. The formula is great. Same formula as Champagne Pop, but I just feel like that color is too white for me. I don't really like those stark white highlighters. I feel like that looks very ashy and chalky on my skin tone personally. I feel like if you are a very, very fair girl, like someone like around Liv Loves Her Makeup, if you watch her, or the Taylor, I feel like they would be able to pull that off beautifully. And even if you're closer to my skin tone, you could probably still wear it. I just don't like it on me personally. So yeah, that is pretty much everything that I have to share with you guys. I hope you guys will check out the other people in this collab. I will have them in the description down below. And thank you guys so much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't so you can stick around for the next one. Bye!